don't think I asked for help once during my 30s, not genuinely, not in the way where you actually let someone help you. I would manage things, figure things out, handle problems quietly, and if someone offered, I'd almost always say, I'm fine, I've got it. And for years, I thought that was a strength, a Gen X thing, a pride thing. We didn't need anyone. We coped. That's just what we did. But the older I get, the more I've started wondering about the cost of all that coping, that self-sufficiency. Because somewhere in the process of becoming someone who handles everything alone, I also became someone who found it very hard to receive help, support, care, even rest. And I think that pattern runs deep in a lot of people our age. Not because we're obstinate, although, there might be a bit of that. But I think it's more about the fact that we were taught very early that needing people was a kind of weakness. And today I want to talk about where that lesson came from and whether it still serves us. Many Gen Xers grew up becoming independent very early. We walked home from school alone. We solved our own problems. We'd start dinner on our own. We learned how to entertain ourselves, how to do our homework unsupervised. We figured things out. And there was something valuable about that. It created confidence. It created independence, adaptability, and resilience. But it also taught us something else. Don't be a burden, handle it yourself. Keep going. And I think many of us carried that lesson into adulthood. The problem is that coping eventually becomes automatic. You stop asking for help. You stop sharing struggles. You stop expecting support. Not because people don't care, but because you've trained yourself not to need it, or at least that's what you tell yourself. And I think many Gen Xers became experts at functioning while struggling, experts at appearing fine, even when they weren't. The older I get, the more I realise that hyper-independence can become isolating, because human beings aren't designed to carry everything alone. We need connection, we need support, we need community. Yet many of us spent years believing strength meant handling everything ourselves. And perhaps that's why so many people quietly struggle. Not because they lack support, but because they never learned how to receive it. I've started wondering whether true strength looks different than we imagined. Maybe strength isn't carrying everything alone. Maybe strength is knowing when to ask for help. Maybe resilience isn't pushing through forever. Maybe resilience includes rest, connection, vulnerability. And perhaps those are skills many of us are still learning. I still admire Gen X's resilience. I still admire the independence, but I also think we're beginning to understand that self-sufficiency isn't the same thing as well-being. And perhaps one of the most important lessons at this stage of life is learning that we don't have to carry everything alone anymore, and that some of the things we've been carrying for a long time are from habit, and it is possible to just put them down. If this speaks to you, my free Freedom and Simplicity workbook talks directly to this. You'll find the link below. Thank you for watching. I'm Angela, and I hope you'll subscribe to join me for the rest of this journey. I'll see you next time.